activated. Gundam fight all set. Ready, go!
I don't know how I sound. There we go. Sorry, I got that by the guys. Last second little hiccups. They always like to sneak up on you. But folks, welcome one and all to this very happy post-Easter Mechpit chat where I am Ironcaster here to talk to you with a bit of fervor. No, happy Easter all. Apologies for that delay. You know, life comes at you fast sometimes. And what a weekend it's been. It has been pretty chill for the most part. Some family stuff kind of came up, and life gets like that. So how are we doing out there, folks? Such as Vince Womack in the chat here, who's here to help me do all my advertising, and I thank you as always, my friend, who's showing off all these fine channels that I will have a tendency to pop up on during the week over in Cloudy's Comic Shop. What else do we have down here? We have DJ Roddy G, who is in the chat, showing that little love to my fine friend there, Vince. How's it going, buddy? Let's see, who else do we got here? Agent Decibel. The ever-present villain. Decibel. We got to talk because, my friend, you're missing off over with a little bit of Gundam. Because, well, by the way, guys, I made this week. Actually, I dropped a video about 90 minutes ago. I dropped a little review of the current Gundam series going on. And, well, do I have any little screenshots available? No? Either way. Let's just say a certain secret protagonist of the franchise happened to happened to have stolen the entire episode for himself. Let me see. That's right. Who are we talking about? Why, none other than our dear friend, Mr. Load up. Mr. Shar Aznable showed up. He showed up. He not only stole the show, he stole the Gundam. Let's see. Who else do we have here? But yeah, that's worth your time, worth checking out. Especially because we gotta share our love to the true protagonist. Speaking of real quick, let me show a little love to the other protagonist we have around here. Mr. Punkwaddle. Hey.
Hey, boo boo.
Hey, boo boo. How are you doing? This picnic basket?
What are we going to do tonight, Ironcaster?
The same thing we try to do every night. Talk about big robots!
Yay!
Yay!
You know, Brain did have a big giant mech that's proportionally the size of some of these mechs to a human.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, he had this like business suit thing that he had a tiny little head, but he'd explain that he had some sort of disease. Yeah. I'll have to pull up pictures of it. It's kind of Neo Zeong-ish, for proportions, like getting your own little mech inside the big guy. Yeah.
So how's it going, Punkwaddle? How's your Easter there, buddy?
Yeah, it was okay. Sugar Waddle had to work on Saturday, so we didn't too much, and then Sunday, so we didn't really have time to go spend time with family. So we kind of, let's just say it was a little bit more of a crash and burn more than intended because of all the exhaustion from the week. But
it's always unfortunate when loved ones always have to work on the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's always important to make sure you either make sure you make those a little more special for the time you do have together.
Yeah.
Maybe you go and do a little separate thing for the holidays together, or you also make sure you enjoy the one holidays you get off with them more, all the more. No, but things were kind of little up in the air here.
Oh, yeah?
So about a month ago, my grandfather had fallen out of bed, and he's been in the hospital ever since, roughly.
Okay.
And we basically we got word he was getting released yesterday on Easter, and then it didn't happen. So it turned into all this chaos as we're like having to get the house back together for him.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm like, it's been driving me so much. I'm like, I'm starting to find gray hairs. I'm like, oh, this is the stress.
Yeah, it'll catch up to you eventually.
No, it's all going fine though. No, it's kind of helped bring the family together, but it is what it is, as they say. And
Yeah.
I guess to that effect, as important it is having, if more so, the most important thing is having the family all to kind of come together to help get together, but also for, in a way, my own kind of personal sanity on things. The thing that I think the thing that's really helps is having these little getaways like this, just to sit down and talk with the internet friends. We get a chance to kind of nerd out and talk about the stuff that, grand scheme of things, doesn't matter, but it matters to us.
Yeah, remember when Second Life was a game and people were like, no way, people are just going to try and live online with avatars?
And then they did.
Yeah. What was that? And then it was like 10, 15 years ago, there was that movie with Gerard Butler where, like, it was where you could act, like, so prisoners, you could actually, it was kind of akin, it wasn't quite Death Race. They were trying to bring Death Race back, but then they brought Death Race back a little bit later. But it was the concept of you're in a prison, but it's a first person, like where people could go on a computer and just use somebody's body to do stuff. So like the kid was gaming, but he was
it was the movie Gamer, and the premise was they had, it was a bunch of like basically guys on death row who were doing these, like, who were being controlled by a bunch of pro gamers,
right?
And so, like, people were trying to go to the kid and were trying to like buy Gerard Butler off of him because he's this high value, like, pro streamer like XQC or something,
right? But,
and
yeah, but he was also doing well, and the guy's like, oh, if you win enough times with me, if we team up, and I could get a lighter sentence of freedom or something, like I don't remember exactly like that, but there's a whole thing, and then the guy's mom was also, main character's mom was using herself. Her part-time job was being controlled by a thing, and that was a weird twist, which I don't want to get into after I said that.
Oh yeah, where she would let people remote control her body.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, ugh.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, it was. They did the one side of the one storyline, which was like, hey, this is really cool, and then the other storyline was like, that's why people don't talk about it and watch it anymore, because it got weird. Hi, Sherry. Hi, DJ. Oh, wait, what?
Crotch combustion Yeah, kinda.
I mean, harnessing the power of farts is something that science has dabbled with for years.
I don't know where to take this.
We can go to space for 11 minutes, but then we'll have to come back to Earth.
There we could.
Yeah.
That said, there is actually one. Let me load this up. There was one thing I was super excited about. I just saw that got revealed today. And so I've been a big proponent, a big fan of the current Transformers comic, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
It has done a pretty good job of bringing people into that franchise. And so much so that I was happy to see that we're finally getting some more merchandise directly tied to this particular this particular run of the comic.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, of course, you got to realize, yeah, we're probably gonna have an Optimus Prime in the mix. We're gonna get, whatever characters. If they come up with a special unique design, we're gonna get those things.
Yeah.
And the biggest, most exciting thing we've gotten out of the current Transformers run was just this image, this great image of Optimus who had ripped his own arm off to beat a Decepticon because he was going to attack humans.
So it was Optimus Prime 78-2.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're actually based on this, because the other big reveal of it was in the back of his trailer, he had a bunch of spare parts, and not just any spare parts. He had the Big M's arm, which thematically is such a great image. He has Megatron's hand as his own. He literally, his biggest enemy, who has the blood of untold millions because of his failure to stop him, is literally now on his hands.
It's called upscaling, repurposed. Oh, that's beautiful.
And yes, it transforms.
Nice.
I love it. And
yeah,
I've been a big proponent. I've been kind of giving myself a hard rule against a lot of double dipping, but they've given me a heck of a reason to buy one now, because this is just a fantastic run of the comics. This is like one of the truest voices of Optimus. And Decibel, just so you know, you really should come back and check out the comics, because your boy Megatron has finally made his appearance. And well, to get into one of the more recent issues, he shows up. Optimus sees him. The first thing he says is, "Run." Optimus, just the sight of Megatron showing up again is enough to send have Optimus and all the other Decepticons retreat. Yes, of course, this was also the same time they were in the middle of Seattle getting torn apart by two combiners going into like a full-on WWE wrestling, stint. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, this is something I cannot wait for. Punkwaddle, we have to figure this out. We'll have to get you like the first volume of this comic.
Okay.
And you'll have to tell me like if it's worth all the hype, if it's worth all the love and affection that I've been praising it for the last couple of years.
Well, I am like base level normie when it comes to that. So, I mean, I'm a good litmus test if I can get excited,
Well, that's perfect though. It's effectively a whole new universe of comics.
Ooh.
So you don't really need a ton of background knowledge. It's just like, yeah, maybe you've seen one of the live action movies. Maybe you saw a couple episodes as a child. You're like, yeah, there's Optimus Prime and Megatron.
I mean, I know about them, but yeah, there's comics.
Bumblebee, etc.
Yeah. I didn't watch the Bumblebee movie. I hear it was kind of disappointing.
I mean, the first couple of minutes, everyone basically said, "Why wasn't this the entire movie?" Because it's Cybertron. It's got all the big key things that like any fan would have loved.
They just wanted to push their own stuff to lead into their own storylines.
It was like they wanted to kind of have a soft reboot with like Bumblebee and some kid kind of being your new hero. We're sort of setting things up before the original movie.
Oh, instead of Wiki, because we need to replace Shia LaBeouf and Jennifer's body.
Megan Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. So, since I've been talking about comics, a couple other little things popped up this week, and since we're in sort of the era of Gundam Wing, apparently it's been big enough that the U.S. has started to recognize and realize, we should probably do something to kind of help celebrate this.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's coming on is
Wait.
every
Is it going to be like, because you know how when the Gundam base celebrates things and you have like their birthdays and like different foods? Are we going to have like macaroni and cheese in Gundam shapes?
as great as that would be, I would love to
Oh.
go. I would love to be able to go down the cereal aisle and see like the Gundam Wing Frosted Flakes box.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not getting that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
instead, we are getting some Mobile Suit Gundam Wing for free comic book day.
Oh, okay.
So, by the way, the first Saturday in May for the last 15 years or so has traditionally been free comic book day. And this year we are getting Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. In addition, which I don't know, for all we know, I think it might be. Let me look into this. Receiving for free on this 25 cents to use pay for each a bundle of 20 copies of a new Mobile Suit Gundam Wing comic from Tamashi Nations and Gunpla in time for free comic book day.
Cool.
Set in the fan favorite After Colony timeline, the FCBD edition is a great way to introduce newcomers to the Gundam Universe action figure brand and Gunpla model kits with a special treat. Feel free to promote this title far and wide. Let's make your store the go-to destination for heroes, fans, and mega pilots alike this free comic book day.
Nice. I have some friends that might actually be interested in that too.
So I wonder if we're, from the sounds of it, there's going to be an actual Gunpla actually being given away as a free giveaway with this, which if I'm reading that right, that's actually kind of big because I've not really seen a whole lot of free Gunpla giveaways type events like Japan has all the time in the States.
Yeah, so I need to figure out who's going to carry it. Yeah.
To that end, I would say, I believe, check freecomicbookday.com.
Oh, yeah. They have a website. Cool.
Yep, freecomicbookday.com. And if we load that up, what do we have here? First Saturday, May 3rd. It's a little extension, I think of like Diamond, which funny how, let's see how that goes. But all the same, there's be plenty to pick up. Most shops, or I know a few of the shops that are in my area, will put some limit on what's available. So
yeah,
they might limit a person to like 3 or 5 books per person, which
right,
understandable given you have a limited selection and you want to be able to make sure everyone can come in and pick something up. So
yeah. Okay, I'll have to look and figure out where that is. Because, yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Also, in addition, well, it doesn't show up here, there is a Speed Racer comic coming from Mad Cave Comics.
Go, Speed Racer.
Also, let's see, go down, more things and stuff and things. There's a Transformers comic, a Diablo comic. Also, Pablo's going to be losing his shit. There's a Phantom comic coming.
Oh, no.
But yeah, by the way, Pablo or Geek Tropology is a massive fan of the Phantom. I gave him a link, so he might pop in randomly, but we'll see.
I know. I'm pretty sure I've talked to him over the years at some point. It's been a while though.
So, in addition to our little free comic book, we are getting more love for Gundam Wing this year.
More love for Gundam Wing.
That's right.
The Wild Beat Communication.
Will this set you low for me?
I don't know.
Because we are also. Where is this down here?
Are we getting a Miku colored wing Gundam?
I mean, yes, but also we're getting Overwatch 2 collab.
I didn't even play Overwatch. Now I want to play Overwatch.
All right, fine. Blizzard has been a crap company for a long time. A couple months ago, I went and installed WoW for like a little minutes.
Yeah, for minutes.
I subscribed for like a month.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about that.
And then I jump back off and I'm back playing Guild Wars. But
yeah,
okay, maybe I'll finally install Overwatch 2.
I mean, I still have a little bit of room on my PlayStation.
You know, they also recently had a Cowboy Bebop collaboration.
Oh, okay. Well, so did Fortnite. So that's curious though, since Fortnite did something for the Gundam Netflix last year in honor of that. So I wonder if they'll do something because they're collab heavy too. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just give me 1 second here. We do have someone jumping in the back here. So guys, without further ado, let me show him a little bit of love of his own.
Oh, you gods! My roast is ruined! What if I were to purchase fast food and disguise it as my own cooking?
I'm eating my own cooking right now, so you all can shove it.
Oh, Snacks gets to eat on Monday nights when I eat on Tuesday nights.
That's true. That's true. It's a salad. Chicken Caesar.
Snacks, you heard Fortnite, you came running.
I heard Overwatch is getting I did see this prior to the stream. And yeah, I'm still not going to play Overwatch 2. Overwatch was a thing that I missed out on. And Overwatch 2, for all the people who like Overwatch, the original one, is kind of a downgrade. That's what I've kind of gotten the feel of. So, I don't know.
That's terrible. Why did they downgrade it?
Oh, yeah, all right. So I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay, cool.
Well, for one thing, they try to move away from the loot boxes because of all the bad PR loot boxes have gotten over the years. So much so to the point that like various countries were trying to implement a series.
Loot boxes got a bad rap. It's like paying for loot boxes is like, yeah, don't do that. Don't be like, buy this loot box for $5.99. No.
And usually the loot boxes were third party anyway. They weren't actually from the developer.
Whereas Overwatch 2, from what I understand, is followed the Fortnite model of the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Battle Pass is another kind of worms that I understand. It's like, hey, continuously give us money so we can help keep the game great. But it's like, you know, it's a promise that may or may not bear fruit, you know?
Well, that, and I'll say this. When it comes, okay, so as people have pointed out, Fortnite is probably one of the better battle passes because you get a lot for that $10 a month. And it just depends on how much they want you to pay a month. But to me, if it's a game that you enjoy and you're going to play like all the freaking time and you're going to level up and you're going to get all the free perks, and then sometimes you want to put in money to, because like let's face it, if you spend that much time in a game, you're probably going to want to buy some cosmetics. But if you have the battle pass that you're paying for, it's kind of like, thanks for letting me play the game, but also I'm getting all these included cosmetics, but then sometimes you get like extra in currency. So like, oh, and you also, here's a little spending money if you want something else too, right? And so, because they're the kind of people that do microtransactions where they don't think about, and this is what the thing we were talking about, the horse game that, you know, that I was trying to promote to Shum, even though that's the one that's getting all of the lawsuits and stuff, really drawing it out in Europe because of all the microtransactions. And, you know, Fortnite has gotten into a lot of trouble for the this is your only chance. It's leaving today. Now they've changed some of their stuff, but
the FOMO.
Yeah, if you've been watching Fortnite for long enough, a lot of stuff comes back around pretty quickly.
I will say though, I do think in the current video game landscape, this is probably the best approach that Overwatch could be doing, because at the end of the day, the things that are getting attention are these crazy collabs. I mean,
Yes.
whenever like Fortnite has something crazy, like, oh, you better believe it trends. Like, you remember when Call of Duty had Gundam and everyone
Yeah.
talked about that for a minute?
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't actually play that. I was going to. I made a promise, but then I was like, oh wait, I would have to play Call of Duty.
But it got talked about it, and there was a lot of buzz, and there's a lot of people that probably who had it installed and played a little bit more at that time.
Oh, for sure. That's the name of the game these days. It's attention. We're in an attention economy. That's why we gotta come out here and do some bold things. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video. I'll eat the ramen funyuns.
Ooh, nice. Are those from Japan?
7-Eleven.
That makes as much sense. Yes.
Which, by the way, as an aside, 7-Eleven, Speedway, food is getting to be pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with the selections of stuff I've been finding there.
So 7-Eleven I've noticed they've taken over some of the convenience parts of like Exxon down here and a few other places. Like, oh, like it's a name brand gas, but it's a 7-Eleven store. Curious.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to clean up their act in America, but it's like wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're just garbage.
It might be like that AMC thing where they just kind of invaded the space of existing things and may or may not clean up things just and run it as is just so they own it.
Honestly, it's all about management too. Sometimes if
Yes.
the management is garbage, the place is garbage.
Yeah, I guess it's ultimately going to depend if it's if it's a franchisee or if it's an outright owns business.
Yeah, there's a lot of factoids.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
Well,
he's chewing and it kind of sounds Yanish.
no, don't.
Yiddish or Yiddish? Hey, they.
Have a nagita, have a nagita, have a. Do you have one?
Caesar salad.
I think he said Caesar salad.
Yep, that's what I'm having.
Okay.
So, with Gundam in mind.
Oh, back to that.
Yes. Did you guys happen to catch episode 2 yet?
I did.
They changed it.
No, they didn't change episode 2. You guys watched a movie that was a sort of teaser, a trailer to get you excited. It is not the same cut as a TV show.
No, it's longer. With more girth.
Length with diameter.
Yeah, more robot battles. From the World One, from the 1 Year War, which it still was the 1 Year War, even though it's a different universe. It still lasted about a year, right?
So as far as it goes, there's a bunch of fun little Easter eggs, fun little nods in there that I really wound up appreciating. And one of my favorite pieces I really appreciated was like, yeah, we got the music sprinkled in, but also we got
I did notice that, and I was just like, I just got a little giddy. I was like, no way, they did it! They did it!
These are those little attention to detail I love.
Also, I don't know if they're going to continue that. I would like them to continue it, but I think that was just for the episode 2.
Yeah. Exactly. I think because we were seeing that flashback to the 1 Year War, that's probably the only time we're going to see it was just with this particular episode, which
I respect either decision. I respect 100%.
Well, from what I understand, he's wondering about the Red Comet. Red Comet disappeared. So like, I have the sneaking suspicion that either Red Gundam is a misdirect, or at some point in time, Char is going to somehow be incorporated, or kind of like towards the end of like a second coming of Char, like in unicorn or something like that.
Well, I mean, considering that in the like sort of quote unquote main timeline,
Yeah.
it was like Lala was tied into this the new type Space Force.
Yeah.
Whereas here we don't necessarily have her in that same position, so we could very well get Char being the Force Ghost of this franchise now going forward. If that's the case, I'm totally for if we just like have Char show up in like every other franchise going forward as like the Force Ghost.
This is playing with. I mean, it's not pure Gundam, and they are toying with lore and telling their own version. Like they've made it very clear that it is their own timeline in an alternate universe, as opposed to most other Gundam stories in a different universe aren't a 1-to-1 comparison.
Well, it is. I've heard it say that Hito is playing with his toys. You know, he's done Shin Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and now he's got a hand in Gundam. It's just all like, I was like, yeah, he's playing with his toys, but we like to watch him play with his toys. Let the man cook.
For some reason, I didn't actually process that was the Shin Gundam or Shin Gundam guy now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, it's totally at this point Hideaki Anno is just getting to play with all the toys. Which at this point I have to ask, what's left? Like, do we have to get Shin Dragon Ball?
And the answer is yes, because unlike the American watered down Jar Jar Abrams version of playing with all your fanboying over all your franchises, he's actually playing with them and having fun that other kids can play too. Instead of watering all the franchises down to be the same thing and have the same storyline and have the same.
Unfortunately, there's like so many like soy-based writers with J.J. Abrams that will, you know, like if J.J. Abrams didn't have any like big writers' rooms to like kind of like pester him to do this, write these kind of characters in, I think it would still like pump out some pretty cool stuff. But
it is the American. I say
She-Hulk, right?
I'm not blaming J.J. Abrams all on his own, but it is the westernized version, right? Because I mean, you have all of this shit. What was the guy's name again?
Hideaki Anno.
Yeah, that guy. He has the good robots, and J.J. Abrams has the bad robot.
So
you know what?
That barely deserved it. Barely.
I earned that one, guys. I earned that one.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. I'm playing the long game because I'm a short guy.
Yep. Right.
There's a lot of so there's a lot of little details I'm really loving with GQs. Like from getting to see the ammo belts of the machine guns from the head turns, being fed in as an external bit, getting to see like even the little things like the head to that 180 and then the whole body shifted around to be able to keep fighting. Like, oh, that is brilliant. I love these little details like that.
Yeah, I hope that the toy can do that too, because I mean the head swivel on most Gunpla is pretty weak.
Honestly, I think it's like 3 months before, like it's the same world except for Char came in 3 months before the original Char would come in. That's why the head unit is not covered up, and it's just like all the paneling is not there. So that's why you don't have like the crazy V-pins and all that other stuff.
But also like the main timeline, we saw other Gundams starting to show up because, of course, there were like 37 of these also at the same moment being developed.
There was a lot. It was just like, the full armor Gundam. Oh, the Gundam, freaking, there's a whole bunch of other ones.
How many variants do you think we'll see in this show of Gundams?
Well,
and then obviously I'm guessing we'll get some GMs and some more Zakus too that are customs.
Yeah, we did see it. Did we see the gun cannon?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, I know we saw it in the movie. I'm not sure if we saw it in the.
No, we saw the gun cannon chase the kids around, right?
We saw the gun tank get blown up because it was just parts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We didn't see the gun tank. Yeah. I was like, which also makes me think it was like a couple months ahead of time because in the original series, like the gun tank, the gun cannon, both of those units were stowed onto the white base. It was just the Gundam that was, I would assume, was being transported to the white base.
That was the assumption of that big day.
Yeah.
Because those were the three main units that the Federation had, right? They're ace in the hole.
Yeah, the prototype mobile suits and the prototype ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as they call it in this, is the rocking horse.
Yeah, the rocking horse. Yeah.
Which is
like,
funny.
Of all the things that bothers me, I think that one's the one that bothers me the most. It's like I'm so used to it. It's like, no, it's the white base. I'm like, no, do we have to call it something else? Like, can we just keep that one thing? Like, I'm totally willing to overlook all these other things. Like, the admiral recognizing, oh, Shar took the Gundam.
Yeah,
I like it when he flies up to the. Oh yeah.
To be fair, though, like Shar was kind of chasing after them for a while, at least certainly based on origin.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, they did call it a Pegasus class assault ship. I think that's the proper term for that style of ship. Because we got the white base, and then there's the Spartan. Those are the two that I know that are of the same class.
I just like when Shar comes up and says, "I'm taking your ship," and just shoves his hand in the control.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Same thing. I was like, yes, he did what it happens in Gundam Thunderbolt.
Yeah. And
E.O. Fleming.
Yeah, E.O. Fleming. He punches the bridge of the Spartan, and the Spartan goes down. That's when they're escaping the island. That's in the manga. It's not in the anime yet. I want them to animate that. That was awesome. Oh my god.
The only reason I remember his name is because it sounds so much like Ian Fleming. Like it's like basically just one letter off.
Yeah. Yep. Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah, that's the Federation guy, but what's his name?
Peg Leg Pete.
Yeah, Peg Leg Pete.
He's got no hands. He's got no feet. He got sticks. Come sail away. Come sail away. Come sail. Okay. I'm just going to keep going unless somebody talks. Okay.
Well, if you would like to see something coming up, we close this out because there was one other little story that came up this week that I think a few people are going to be plenty excited for. This is something that's been teased for quite a while. In fact, this past weekend, we got some leaks that sort of came out and revealed it that people thought was going to be showing off today, but apparently there's talk about the Oblivion remake dropping.
4, okay. Interesting.
Which goes to show you that they, unlike Valve, Bethesda at least learned how to count to 3, and unfortunately, they got stuck on a number that our puppet friends can't quite count to.
Is that 7?
Well, yes.
Okay.
It may as well be, but at least you can count this high, Punkwaddle, right?
Yeah. Well, some days.
Those look like letters.
Well, I've got a little bit of good news for you guys because there was some leaked footage that came out, and I don't know if you guys want to see this or not.
I'm scared, but I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistically scared.
By the way, just as a side, I just finished Harlock. I love it, and I would be so down for a Captain Harlock game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harlock's pretty good. I watched the movie in 2012, 2014.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched anything.
The
Harlock.
CG one. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Might be
The-
something to rewatch.
The original one is really dated, but it's still good.
Isn't it hard to find the original one?
I just watched it on Crunchyroll.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
But anyway,
It's Cotton Ministries.
Cotton Ministry.
Sacrifice
the fleshy. Sacrifice the fleshy.
He probably had some chocolate eggs yesterday. Nothing too pure.
Although we gotta ask, Cotton, where were you this morning?
What?
The Pope.
Oh, I was gonna say what's significant about this morning.
I was about to say, was he at the Boston Marathon? What is that?
Yeah.
No, but that was a little story that happened this week where the Pope had the Pope passed away early this morning.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll try to have some little bit of laughter out of the misfortune, because if we didn't laugh, we'd cry. At least that's what I tell myself. But anyway, this is that leaked footage. Look at it. Oblivion. It's beautiful. We're gonna do a little bit of fast travel.
Okay.
Todd, you got me again.
Oh, god damn it, Todd.
That darn Todd, he's messing around.
So, guys, I thought that was real. I thought we really found it, but I need to do better next time. I'm sorry.
We expected better from you there, Ironcaster. We expected better.
Yeah.
You have failed us.
For the light. Oh wait, no.
No,
Not
we
the
don't
light.
need the beta room yet.
Yeah.
No.
No. Who's gonna run the show? I guess
All
we
right.
can.
We'll be
The
stuck here
Punkwaddle-
all night.
The Punkwaddle show, Inherit the Show.
Punkwaddle will not hear any shows.
What? I can hear it anything I want. Hear it.
Okay. Very well. We're gonna start the Harriet show for
Yeah.
Punkwaddle and the Harriet show.
Like tortoise in the hair.
No, just the
I'm-
Harriet.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's the Harriet show with Punkwaddle.
Okay. I
So,
did break the ice this morning.
I saw you put the video up today.
Yeah.
TMI.
What?
You posted a video. I posted a video.
I didn't tell you what I broke it with.
I was assuming you're
Dick.
18-inch cannon, but
Yeah. And by hammer, I mean, wait, what?
I shot the sheriff. Oh, sorry, Punkwaddle. Cover your ears.
Yeah. This one hurts.
So, one last little thing I had to kind of touch on. Not anything necessarily pop culture related, though this is more so tied to more meta, more kind of real world stuff going on. And I'll build for this, and maybe I'll just do a video on this at some point.
Okay.
all right, what's on your mind?
Tell us.
So, with all this talk going on in the world, the big talk of tariffs has been going on, and it's gotten a lot of talk as of late. So, do I have another one? No, sorry. I'm getting
Hey, now.
right. I have too much junk on my desk. I need to clean up. Anyway, the big thing that's got a bit on my mind as of late was tariffs, role playing games, etc., and really technological innovations that have been coming about. What I'm talking about specifically is the advent and the commercialization, the consumer grade entry point of 3D printers. For all the big robot stuff I talk about, I enjoy. I also love me some role playing games. I love me some miniatures. I love me some painting. Get my little minis printed out, which in the last 3 weeks I just started doing that, and I've been having a lot of fun. Just the process of getting these little guys printed, finding all the little faults, finding the ways I can improve them, because that's
sure. I've seen some of the posts on Twitter, X, and Instagram or whatever.
Oh, you're printing and painting your own little guys? Nice.
Yes. And not only that, finding people that are making the little miniatures I would want for the idea of like tabletop games. Like, I would love to be able to have a RoboCop board game. Unfortunately, I don't think there's frankly enough demand to warrant producing a RoboCop tabletop board game, which I would love.
It kind of reminds me of back when GoFundMe came out and everybody was making a GoFundMe, and like some things actually got made and turned out decent, and some things kind of got made and they were god awful, but somebody paid for them anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I hear what you're saying. Please continue.
Well, a lot of people have been going on making fan works, making fan content, and there are a whole slew of pen in my pocket. A whole slew of people making their own miniatures out here. And the thing is, right, while there may not necessarily be enough of a demand to warrant, making the RoboCop tabletop RPG, where you start getting to all kinds of licensing stuff, who's to say there isn't enough of a demand to go out and do like a bunch of loosely inspired by stuff that we can just turn around and homebrew and come up with our own stuff. This is really getting to a point where it's really consumer friendly. And well, one of the things I just picked up was some kind of sci-fi generic space aliens.
Yeah,
nice.
And then I can turn around and find someone who made a I don't know, some sort of like Galactic Space Cops.
Yeah.
Galactic Space Cops. Nice.
There's people just making all kinds of stuff out here. Hey, how about some Skull Hunters?
Definitely.
And then I could, we could sit down and come up with and use some other free rules that are out there, so you could have like your big battle of all these guys fighting a bunch of these giant arachnids from space. There's no reason why you can't go out here and just smash all these together and have the crossover you want. You could go out and reenact RoboCop versus the Terminator. But the thing is, there's so much overhead that's been tied to, like, say, the producing of tabletop games, that in a lot of cases it's so incredibly difficult to make these things, because we're talking tens of thousands of dollars to produce just a single tool that's going to be able to pump out these little miniatures that I may not be. I don't have the money to be able to justify making that, but I can find someone. I can either learn to sculpt, or I could find someone out here who's gone ahead and made these designs, print this out myself, go through the process of fine tuning that. This cost me $5. I think there's a big change coming in the winds with all of the bigger issues that are going on with manufacturing, with the tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
That overreliance that China has really kind of bitten a lot of people.
The market's going to adapt, and China's going to find themselves wanting. But
so it's going to be interesting to see how like a lot of our hobby stuff changes in the near future. I mean, the Gundam kits I know have caused a lot of people in like the Warhammer 40K space to look over and say,
yeah,
why do the look over with some surprise to say, like the push fit model kits for Gundam fit like they're supposed to, whereas the Warhammer stuff has some difficulties sometimes.
Yeah.
There's
Quality control and other factors.
right. 3D printing has really opened my eyes in a lot of ways to how a lot of this stuff could change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got a big box down here of miniatures that I keep telling myself I'm gonna print one. I'm gonna go ahead and paint one of these days, and it's been sitting here 2 years. It's my little pile of shame that I've not touched.
Yeah.
Frankly, I got the 3D printer. I looked at that box. I'm like, I really don't need half these minis anymore. And I went to some. Yeah, well, I went to some friends and I gave them a bunch of the minis that I hadn't painted. It cleared some space for myself because I realized if I really want some of these things, I could print it up when I do want it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Which has been good for the mind for a little bit, for clearing up some of the clutter. But anyway, it's just a thought I've been having.
Nice.
And by the way, you'd be surprised what you can find. Like, I was printing up like Freerin. I've been finding all kinds of like naughty miniatures I can paint up. Oh, body pillows ain't got nothing on what I found for Magic or Emma Frost.
Well,
they're just, the plastic is harder than the soft pillow.
it's okay.
They all fit in the jar either way.
Waifus are waifu.
So,
Not that I'm saying I would do anything, mind you, but just the reality of the situation changes. You realize what you could do.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, all that said. I'm feeling kind of optimistic for the future. I think there's some changes coming along the way, and I think this technology is really kind of opened my eyes in a ways to show like the fan demand that wants something is going to make it happen, even if the owners of these IPs don't want to provide it. People will turn around and will make it happen. They will give it away for free. It will be in these little underground scenes. And frankly, there's not a whole lot the big IPs can do to, when they're having to look under every single pebble, under every single rock to find every little bit of trademark infringement.
Well, so it depends. It's not trademark unless you're selling it, right? If you're giving it away for free, it's
Yes, there's that.
But it's fans helping other fans become bigger fans,
But also there's also the like 25% different, 10% different. You make it just generic enough.
Oh, that too. But you could do carbon copy as long as you're not selling it. It doesn't really matter.
Or even if I only sell individual pieces, and hey, as it turns out, if you put these things together in the right way, you get Mickey Mouse.
Yep. And and it's like it's like the artists at Artist Alley. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like how many Artist Alley people? Let's just do a popular one that's been popular for a while. My Hero Academia. How many people have been doing My Hero Academia like fan art and selling it? You know what I mean?
Long time.
There's a lot of them, and can they actually stop them? Like, you would have to stop like 100 freaking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in hundreds of countries. It's like it's a task almost impossible, So
right, long term, all you're ultimately doing is hurting yourself because it's a side of that passion for the property.
Yeah, you're quashing your, it's like this person loves this thing so much they bought fan art, and fan art fuels they're like they look at the thing. It's like, oh, I wonder if the next volume of the manga I like is out. You know what I mean?
They will buy it. They will buy multiple editions of it. They will buy the collector's edition.
Especially if they're buying art. Now, there are some people that just buy art just to buy art, but it is what it is. But yes, those super fans that will. That's my 2 cents on that.
Bravo, DJ Ronnie. That's a good friend.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me. I got a tattoo of one on my hand. It's cloaked.
Huh.
What am I doing? I could. There we go.
And if you have crayons on your hand, you need to watch it.
It's cloaked. You
Especially flying around your hand.
But guys, with that said, I think it's time for us to wind down for the night.
Going out.
Because at this point, I got nothing better to end on other than
That's true. That's
sing a
true.
joke.
Go out with a clang.
Animation. Ah! Oh.
So, with that said, Punkwaddle, what you got coming up, buddy? Any more potterances this week?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be try to stay positive, and I like okay. So breaking the ice, I kind of talked about Muppets in space, Muppets from space. I talked a little bit riffed on last week, and some of the stuff and why I'm still craving Wendy's, and I'm trying to. I don't go into the pop culture too much, but the breaking the ice, I try to.
It's like Freddy. You want a Frosty?
Yeah, well, because Wendy's, they tried to send her back. But try to do a little bit. Talk about the breaking the ice. I can do a little news blurbs, and I like to ponder. And usually, if there's something big going on, I like to talk about it or address it. There's that whole Johnny Somali thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say my take on it, and stay tuned to see where I go with it. But it's kind of like the opposite of I want to say we had that movie 7 Years in Tibet. We had cultural appreciation in back in the 90s. Now somehow we turned into cultural appropriation. You can't do anything unless you're that culture. And then we have cultural depreciation, going to another country and just mocking them like it's fun or like it's okay. Like there's some sort of a sliding gradient scale that I find interesting. And I know there's always been shock jocks and stuff, but I don't know. I'm pondering about the epitome and just the kind of phenomenon of all of that. Maybe try to get into
wasn't
some
cool when the Paul brothers did it, and it's not cool when anyone else other does it.
Right.
No.
But it's very tone deaf in a weird sort of loud way.
Yeah. It's just the unfortunate side effect of the internet culture where people are doing all this negative stuff for just tons and tons of attention, and the unfortunate thing is it works.
Yeah, until they're in jail for 20 years.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there you go.
But then this is just like these guys are like the second or third generation of guys that do this, because before this we had guys like iDubbbz out here like trying to be an edgy boy, and well, look what happened to him.
Right. And it's like I said, I know there were shock jocks. I know Howard Stern pushed envelopes. I know there were things, but there were certain people that understood their market and were still, they were being offensive to a point, but it was also a business move, right? And then there's the people on the internet that are trying to get clicks and likes, but aren't actually making money. It's not a business move. It's just
they'll click and like, and then they'll want to do a heel change because they weren't genuine to themselves.
Well, that and doing something more absurd and offensive without any literal financial functional payoff, you realize you're just ruining your reputation in the long run, right?
No.
Like, how did Howard Stern end up on America's Got Talent? Because he was an icon from the 90s that everybody knew, and he was family friendly enough for that show, right? He toned it down. He hung out with Howie Mandel, like two people from, you would think, opposite, Bobby's World was airing at the same time as you remember Bobby's World because we were all allowed to watch that. And then the guy who started, the movie Private Parts was about, right? Two opposite ends of a business spectrum, but at the same time, in their adult, real life human forms, they were still doing business and they were still in the industry, right?
Yep.
Well, anyway, I'm not trying to derail and talk about that completely, but
yeah,
that's okay.
It's so easy to get off into the weeds sometimes, and you can't help it. That's we all do it. We're all just as guilty. But Punkwaddle, as always, thank you so much for coming out. Otherwise I'd be sitting here talking to myself and have time of I don't know what to talk about. Help me.
Yeah, I talk about.
What am I, chop liver? No, I'm joking.
No, but you are the master of the sewing, or I suppose around here. So Snacks, what's coming up, buddy?
Well, I am making puppets tomorrow, but
Oh,
I am gonna try to finish my my Zaku marionette. Let's try to get the final forms of that before painting.
Nice.
Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get accepted into the masquerade, but I will be cosplaying as Cha regardless. I'll just probably have my own little stream that I can actually film. I'm just like, oh, there's no filming. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine.
Okay,
I'll have my own little show. Rebel show. Yes.
Well, all I can say is welcome to the rebellion, my friend.
Welcome to the rebellion. Yes.
Yeah.
I do like anime Boston, but they are a little it's Boston, so it's all woke over there.
The Boston.
Yeah, very, very woke people. Sorry. People are like, Bill Burr is woke. It's like, yeah, he's Bostonian and woke as can be. Come on now.
Hey, he's got a wife who's, gives him street cred.
I'm sure.
Shut Asnable. Jeez, TJ Runny.
All right, we're done here.
Downright. You're right. Maybe I will.
All right, well, guys, tomorrow I will be on with Pops. I'll be on over doing Talk Hard with Pops, Still Loki, and Squeaka, assuming they all show up. We are covering the what's his name? We're covering the movie The Accountant before the sequel comes out here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
The OG Daredevil.
Yeah. Why can't I remember his name?
Affleck.
Yes, Ben Affleck. I don't know. It's just I see his face in my mind, but I'm like,
I bet what's her name isn't coming back for it
because everyone forgot he played Batman.
Maybe he'll get bat nipples.
It's like you're right. I did forget.
I was gonna say, do gods bleed? They will.
Well, guys, on the way out, I want to thank you all one last time for showing up because this is part of. Okay, I don't have anything good to say.
This is a great way to spend a Monday night. It might be the beginning of your week. It might be the end. Either way, we're having a great time. And as we always say, mech on.
We do?
Is your mother's name
Martha?
If not, we should say.
And if all else fails, get the heavy flamer.
Get the flamer. The heavy flamer.